Thank you so much, Pastor Pong. Such a wonderful, that's just something woke me up today. Well, next, I want to ask Dr. Kim, Abram Kim, he's in-depth knowledge. He's representing, he's executive director of the largest Korean American professional organization called Council of Korean Americans, and he knows so much. We should have 5 hours for you, but we are an essential part of this country.
Well, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you, Sunny, for inviting me to this program today. I'm thinking I may be the second generation Korean American. I was born here in the United States, in California, many years ago. And I guess I have a slightly different, somewhat different perspective, since this is my homeland with my ethnicity and my cultural kind of roots to Korea. And my parents actually moved back to Korea too, so they re-immigrated back to Korea as well. But as Sunny mentioned, as a leader of a Korean American organization, a professional organization that represents second generation professionals and those who have grown up most of their lives here, that's the perspective that I'm coming to. So when you say are Americans of Korean ancestry essential ethnic group for America's prosperity, maybe this is not a popular answer, but I would say to say one group is particularly essential means it's, I think Koreans have an important contribution to the United States, but I think the challenge we face is that we could do more, and we haven't done more, and I think there's an obligation for us to do more, and that's really the perspective I'm coming from. Yes, we are a very important a group that's contributing tremendously, and as Pastor Pong mentioned, there are a lot of cultural things that are really going there's a lot of visibility, not only Korean films, but food and leadership and things like that. But I think as a Korean American leader here in the United States, I think we have as Americans, I think as a community, we need to get more involved in our community and public service, not only to help support the needs of the Korean American community, but even thinking beyond the Korean American community and being an essential bridge. And how do we get directly involved in mainstream American society to not only contribute to serve, but to shape as well. And these days, we are actually encouraging a lot of our young people to think about non-traditional careers. I think there's plenty of lawyers and doctors in our Korean society, but we're encouraging our young people to think about entrepreneurship, thinking about art, thinking about media, thinking about running for politics, thinking about public service, thinking about all these areas where to broaden our community members to think beyond not only our community, but also how to give back and be an integral part of the United States in terms of its service. So I think that's one kind of point I'd like to highlight here, and important part in this. And so if we are to become an essential part, we need to get involved in shaping the United States is one. Secondly is, I think one of the issues that was alluded to here is that oftentimes Korean Americans, even though their contributions, they're often viewed as outsiders or foreigners, or the perpetual foreigner. Some of you may have heard this. And I think in some ways it's actually a change of mind and reference from a first generation community to a second generation community. I think on my parents' generation, my grandparents' generation, when they did immigrate, they came here seeking opportunities. So the mentality is we are a guest in a foreign land. But a second generation and the children of immigrant, we are not guests, but we are part. And I think I love the metaphor of ownership. We have to take ownership and highlight the fact, not only to ourselves, but to broader America, mainstream, that Korean Americans are part of the fabric of the United States and what makes this country wonderful and dynamic and fruitful. Because really, if you think about it, the United States is this grand experiment of bringing all of these different cultures all together and living side by side. And Korean culture, as we've witnessed, is an essential part in helping to shape the future of America. Today's America and tomorrow's America from 10, 15, 20 years from now will be a different America. And we need to be an essential part in the authorship of what that future America looks like. And so highlighting the fact that the contribution, but also highlighting the fact that we are not foreigners, we are actually owners here, co-owners with everyone else, and we need to also, as owners, contribute back as well and serve others as well. So those are just 2 points that I wanted to just highlight here today, and thank you for this opportunity.